I bought a car out of state. I wanted to discuss the process. I get messages on YouTube asking how much I pay for cars sometimes, so I'm just going to tell you everything. So I'm going to put all the costs out there. I'm going to tell you how I value the car when I am 1,400 miles away from it. So 3 methods you can use. I call the dealer up. I can tell immediately from the pictures that the front bumper has been repainted because the S2000 CR has an unpainted portion on the lip, and so I could see that it had been repainted, so I called them up and told them about that. And they had just lowered the price from $25,000 to $24,000. But what you have to realize is an S2000 in Middle America is not worth as much as it is in California. It's just the way it is. You might say, oh, that's a great price, but it isn't. So the reason that I'm going across country to get this car is because the S2000s that are in California have been parted out. They may be missing the original hardtop. That's $4,000. They may be missing the tonneau cover. That's $1,500. The OEM wheels, when those are missing, that's $2,000. So you look at all this stuff, you see these S2000 CRs in California that are missing the stuff, and they're asking $28,000 or something ridiculous. And I've looked at them, and it's just something that I wouldn't buy. I see this car out there, and I'm like, all right, it's worth my time to go out and fly and get this car. So we work out a deal of $23,999 flat over the phone. I get out there. I wasn't happy with the car. A couple things, but the guy honestly didn't seem to know about all these things that you do when you inspect a car. So I decided, I'm gonna walk away from this deal. I'm gonna get back on the plane. I tell the guy I'm gonna get back on the plane. I don't want the car. And he says, oh, come on, make a deal with me. So I call my dealer friend. I tell him everything about the car. I say, how much would you pay for this car? And he tells me $22,000. So I'm like, okay, $22,000. I know this guy's not going to accept the $22,000. I don't want to offend the guy. So I told him I'll do $23,000, include all the fees. I will give him $23,000 cash and walk out of here, take the car and drive it home. Also, very important, when I looked on my phone for airfare, a ticket back to Southern California was $750. So I'm kind of stuck. Either way, even if he doesn't lower the price down to $23,000, I'm gonna take the car at $24,000. But I keep a straight face and I say, hey, I'm gonna get back on the plane. I'll give you $23,000 for the car. Finally, he agreed to that price. It was late in the day. He said, screw it, I'll give you the car for that. He included all the fees, so I got an S2000 CR for $23,000. But that's not the only cost involved in that car. I had to fly out there. That was $250. And then the gas back, it was just a little bit over $100. Then the hotel was $85. So when you add all the costs in with food, it was about $500 extra just to get the car from there to here. And we're looking at a total of $23,500 out of pocket for a car that will sell in California for about $28,000 to $29,000, which isn't bad, but it's not worth it for a lot of people who have full-time jobs. And right now I'm in between working, so it was worth it for me to do this. Those are the costs that were involved in it. The car is beautiful. I'm not intending to resell it. I'm not intending to flip it. And that was one of the things the guy brought up. He told me, you can turn around and sell this car in California for whatever, more dollars. And while that's true, I pointed out that I came to Kansas to buy the car, and the car is not worth as much there. I'm not going to give him more money because I can sell it where I live for more money. I'm paying more rent in California. California is a very expensive place to live, so paying more for an out-of-state car doesn't make sense. You have to value it based on its location. You have to work out the deal based on where the car is. It doesn't matter where you are, that you can profit off of it. That's your side of the deal. You don't put that on the table, and so that's very important to know. People said $23,000 for a clean CR like that is a very good deal. I would say that it's an okay deal. Do all your homework on the car, and remember that when you get there out of state, you can still negotiate further when you find things on the car that you don't like. Now with the S2000 CR, when you're valuing one, you need to look for paint work, you need to look for the original body panels, you need to look for the hardtop tonneau cover, you need to make sure it has all 3 keys, you need to make sure it has all the manuals, and all that stuff eats into the value. Sometimes they don't even have the original seats. Those seats sell for a lot more money than the other S2000 seats. And so you have to take all of this stuff into account when you value one of these cars. And honestly, if they're missing that stuff, if someone's parted it out, I would just walk away and find one that has all of it. It's not that rare yet. Look for one that has everything so you don't have to deal with putting it back together, and keep it, because in the future these will be impossible to find in this condition. It's a a great car. It's a very special car. And also I would stay away from ones that have been modified. If I want to track an S2000 again, I'm going to buy a less expensive one and modify it. The normal S2000s are great cars. The CR is a very special car that I am going to take to the track, but I'm not going to modify it. So that's basically it. That's how I valued the CR. I got a pretty good deal. Total cost out of pocket to get that from Kansas to where I am is $23,500. That is it. Thank you guys for watching, and make sure that you enjoy your car.